Welcome to the Love, Faith, Endurance podcast. Actually, welcome back. It's been a few weeks with quarantine going on and the protest for George Floyd and everything going on. So we had to take some time off, but we're back. And today's a very special episode. We got my brother-in-law, Jamaal Shields, here with his girlfriend, Shantel Scarville. And we're just going to be talking about fitness and how the fitness industry is evolving. So welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having us.
Cool. Appreciate y'all coming on. So both of y'all are in the fitness industry. What was it that motivated y'all to go into the fitness industry?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I used to do retail. So actually getting started at Nike kind of kind of pushed me to more sports edge. And then and that's when I got my first start assisting classes at a studio called Blast. Mm-hmm. And then just seeing the clientele, being running, cleaning up the water, just seeing that environment is what kind of enticed my love for wanting to help people change for the better. And so that's how I got started, just from there. And then, became an instructor.
Yeah. I feel like seeing you in your element, like once you finally started teaching group classes and stuff like that, it definitely motivated me too. I was like, ooh, that's something I would love to do, because we were already in college going to school for exercise science, so I think it all happened perfectly. It was like a time where I was like, okay, well, what can I do in the fitness industry? I used to want to be an athletic trainer, and then I took an athletic training class and I was like, this is not what I want to do. So seeing you go through group fitness and that definitely sparked my I guess
your happiness.
Not necessarily my happiness, but like my interest in that side of the fitness industry. Yeah, that more preventative.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, because to piggyback off that, I was going more for the PT, physical therapy side of things, and then like I said, just being hands-on with people and getting a good sweat on that really changes how you feel inside and out. And you can't get that when you're in the physical therapy setting. Well, for what you would have to start off with when you get into it. So that kind of also pushed me towards the personal training, instructing part of the industry. Yeah,
man. Dang. So I know I see a lot of people on Instagram that are just kind of Instagram trainers and just kind of teaching people. And they don't really have the certifications or things like that. So would you say that you need an athletic background to be a trainer, an effective trainer, or is it something that anybody can just kind of get into?
I wouldn't necessarily say you have to have an athletic background. It helps a great deal, because you can deal with the empathetic side of people. You know exactly what struggles and tribulations you had to go through in order to succeed and to see a change within yourself. But anyone that really has a true passion for it can be successful in it. Yeah. So as long as you do the due diligence, get up on the certifications, do your homework, and just don't literally copy and paste what everyone else does.
Yeah.
So that's really what the whole industry is becoming.
Yeah, that's one of our struggles that we talk about all the time, because it's frustrating for us. The industry that we're in is it's not regulated, and so anyone can really just come up off the street and be like, hey, I'm a personal trainer, come train with me, or they could write down and say that they have these certifications, but no one's really checking for that. And so that's frustrating for us, because we went through 4 years of college, we got our degree, we got our certification, we have our education and knowledge behind what we do. And so I think from that aspect it is a little frustrating, but I mean, going back to Nike, the Nike days, they say if you have a body, you're an athlete. And so it's fitness is for everyone, and there's not a cookie cutter plan for everyone too. So what works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. And so I mean, it is cool. I think it is cool that people are finding their love of fitness and then wanting to change other people's lives through it. But like you said, do your due diligence, get your certifications, educate yourself, because there's a lot of science behind it that people don't realize.
Exactly. I know, for me, just being a college athlete and, things like that, they give you a lot of generic like workouts, and they expect it to work for every single person.
Right.
But people's bodies are different. Everybody's body is different, so you got to find like what works for you. That's been my biggest revelation about fitness.
That's it.
Well, I know you talked about some of the other struggles that you have with people just kind of just jumping in the industry and not really having the correct certifications and knowledge. What are some of the other struggles that y'all go through with it?
I guess 'cause I've been in it for a long time. It's I guess reciprocating. Get the words out. Getting the same love that you express day in and day out. So there could be so there's certain clientele that no matter how much effort you put into the class, how much you study and do everything like to show that you care about your product, the same feelings aren't going to be back. Because there's a couple of clients where I've taught classes and they just had the straight face on like, this is going to be done.
Right.
Like, I'm tired of you right now. Yeah,
just trying to get through.
Right. So it's like, don't bring that energy into like what I do and what I love and what I'm so passionate about. Because, like I like to preach, you do others or do unto you like. What's the word that coming out? I'm getting
do unto others.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
The golden rule.
So, like, how would you combat that energy, though? Like, how do you bring it back to where you want it to be?
Remind yourself why you're doing it and what is the driving force behind it. Because once you lose sight of that, then it just becomes another treacherous day job, a 9 to 5 that everyone hates. So always got to give yourself a daily reminder.
Yeah. What was the question again?
Just like some of the other struggles that you face. Yeah.
There's plenty though.
Clientele, I mean, it's different nowadays. I feel like women are a lot more accepted, but when I was first getting started, like people didn't trust me. I don't know if it's because I look young or I'm a black female and people don't want to take direction from me, but I did. People didn't want to take direction from me. I feel like as a group fitness instructor, like I would come up to a guy and try to correct his form, and he would just kind of like
shrug it off.
Yeah, shrug me off. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, how are you going to tell me? Like, so. Wow. Those people you kind of just have to let go and don't let them like disturb your energy, and keep in mind that like there's a class full of 25 other people or whatever that you need to attend to, and really it's an energy thing at the end of the day. Like, they come to your class because they love you as a person and your energy that you put into the workout and that you give them, and so just making sure that you still continue to be that light for other people, because some people won't like how you shine
at all.
Way.
There's always going to be a hater.
And speaking of that, all this stuff is going on, man. A lot of things are being brought to light about like racial injustices right now. So do y'all see like any kinds of racial discrimination in the fitness industry?
Oh, for sure. You can just tell by the hierarchy of how a studio works.
Especially in the boutique fitness industry.
A boutique is huge on that. You can just tell.
Explain that. Like, what's a boutique fitness?
Just a higher end scale of, so you would think of Orange Theory, Barry's Boot Camp.
It's not like an LA Fitness or 24-hour fitness where you just go in, there's weights and you do your own thing. There's usually just like one room and then there's a designated class or something. And it's a smaller facility, and I guess that's what makes it like boutique.
Right.
It's like higher end, more expensive.
Expensive is the word, yes.
But there's that hierarchy.
So one experience. Am I allowed to name drop companies or keep that out?
Ooh, they might hear this. So
never mind. I'll leave them out of it. I'll keep it anonymous. I'll keep it anonymous. But they're boutique. I didn't say a specific one. I just said give me examples of boutiques.
No shade.
But no, I'm not about to say the actual name, but anonymously, just I remember that our GM at the time, she isn't, I wouldn't even call her racist, but she doesn't know how to handle, or I guess even communicate effectively with those of another race. So I saw that firsthand, especially just being in the studio. You can tell the energy was off. How me as a black man and a couple other instructors, she didn't communicate with us the same way that she did with our white counterparts.
Right.
And so even in the hierarchy of how she was running things, I would notice that more of the smoothie makers were those of a lighter skin tone, obviously, and those that were in the back cleaning up, doing all the like janitorial work were those of color. And so that's not the only place where I've seen it. But yeah, that's just one of my examples I've noticed time and time again.
I feel like I've been in situations where they just make things harder for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Like it doesn't need to be like this. It's the fitness industry. We're supposed to be
in regards to
people.
what? Like what do they do?
You should just talk about, you know, that
I had
boxing
an owner.
place.
Yeah, I had an owner who. It just felt like me. I would always be singled out, like at meetings and stuff. He would single me out as Shantel. Do you understand that? Do you have anything to say? And I'm like, no, I understand how to do how to teach the workout. And okay, like that, because that's not what I was hearing. And I'm like, okay, like what?
Instead of just like pulling you to the side.
Yeah, maybe pull me to the side. Maybe don't single me out. And then also, like, if there is something specific I'm doing wrong, let me know what it is. I don't know. It was really weird. And then I would also get like, he would again single me out and have you taken your boxing lessons? And it was at a time where I couldn't afford to take boxing lessons and like continue that education, but he was requiring me to do it. And I'm like, okay, look, I have to choose between eating or taking a boxing lesson. I'm gonna choose my groceries. So no, I haven't done my boxing lessons. And but it's so cheap. I'll pay for half of it. And still I'm like, no, like if you're requiring it, then it should be paid for.
Something that you pay for.
It should be something that's covered by the company or whatever. And then other than that, I feel like it's just been, I haven't really experienced too much. Other than like as far as from inside people, it's usually like members who like don't really respect me. Until they get to know me and stuff, then it's different. But I guess that's usually, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, like I said, in my opinion, just a lot of opportunities being passed up.
Like just making things harder than they need to be. Opportunities, that go over your head. Because I even applied to Barry's. And I felt like I was way more qualified than a lot of the people who even already taught there. And I even knew someone, and so I reached out to her in management, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in Barry's. Like, I know you guys are looking for instructors. She's like, yeah, send over your resume. And then I send over my resume, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we're not looking for anyone right now. They told me that. And then I turn around literally 2 weeks later, and they had hired
a new instructor.
Homegirl who does not know what she's doing, but she has a really big following on Instagram, and she's a white girl. So I was like, is it like, what was it? Is it that I don't have a big Instagram following? Is it because I'm a black girl and you don't have any black girl instructors there and you want to keep it that way? I don't know. But my qualifications were there. I had a 4-year degree. I had my certifications. I had experience in the field. So that, I knew that definitely couldn't be it. Like, so those are just a few things.
It's so crazy. I mean, it's 2020, and the fact that we still have to deal with this, just as black people, is so.
It's absurd.
Yeah, absurd. Yeah, man. So crazy. So crazy. Man, so like, I guess, how do you even combat, some of the discrimination and profiling?
Me, I do it through kindness. Just through kindness. There's no reason for you to really get pent up and mad over every little thing that they do to you, say to you. But like, what works for me, what doesn't work for everybody else. So, but that's just how I deal with it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Honestly, like I kill them with kindness or whatever if you have to, and then also accepting that, like, oh, maybe that opportunity wasn't for me then, and I'm not meant to be there, and there will be other opportunities and stuff like that. So also just trying to take it as a grain of salt and keep it pushing.
Yeah, just kind of let them be.
Yeah.
Just
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't feed into it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, like, with that being said, like, just, keep pushing. Like, where do y'all see y'all businesses going, in the future? Like, ultimately, what's the big picture?
Take away Shantel, you're a waste. It's starting before me.
I have a big dream with that one.
You've been starting before me, so go for it.
I have a big dream with my business, at least. Like, I would love to get on the level of, like, I don't know, I guess I love Katie Hearn, who is like this girl from, I think she's from Kentucky. She's a white girl though, but she built her business like from the ground up, and her and her husband now, they own like multiple businesses together, and they have their own gym. They do online programming and nutrition. They also like went into this other like CBD avenue, where they do like CBD supplements and stuff like that. So I love that she kind of expanded into like this big old empire, and
that's a growing, that CBD
is
a growing industry.
And they go kind of, they can go hand in hand with fitness, as far as recovery and helping out with all of that kind of stress relief and stuff like that. So I love that she kind of married or joined those two things. But I also love how, obviously, like how successful she's been with it, and I like the way that everything that she's done has been really like organized and put together really nicely too. That's big. So I just want to like take my online services and be able to reach out and help as many people as possible. Just shine my light.
What's your brand?
My brand? Oh, my brand.
Yeah, man, we got to get to that.
Okay, so Form Over Function Fitness is what I just finally launched this year, and the whole basis behind it is education. So I don't want to follow that trend of Instagrammers who are just like, follow my booty program, do these 500 squats.
Right.
Take this booty picture and you're good, girl. And don't forget to buy my waist trainer. Like, no.
Don't forget the skinny tee.
And the skinny tee and the leggings and I don't want to come from that side. I want to come from like an educational background where I'm teaching people about their bodies and about what they're doing and how to move properly with avoiding injury. And
oh my gosh.
because I just.
So big.
Yeah, it's big because there's a lot of people there's a lot of trainers even who I've seen they're just standing there while their client is doing
everything wrong.
Yeah, everything wrong, and I'm like, they're gonna get hurt, and then and on top of their awful squat form, you want to put like 200 pounds on their back, and then that just increases the risk of injury. But so my whole thing is to come from that educational standpoint where people can learn about what they're doing, and honestly I want to get them to a point like Nathan where they kind of like wean off of me, and they're like, okay, I'm at a point where I'm comfortable in the gym now, and I know what I'm doing, I know what my form should look like, I know that if I want to target this muscle, I could do these exercises, and get people comfortable with being in their own skin, and also get them comfortable with navigating their way through the gym.
It's huge because I don't even know where to start when I go to the gym.
There's a lot of people who don't even know where to start, and it's overwhelming, and then
you just don't go anymore.
And then that's like the whole psychology behind it all too. Like it plays into all of that too, because then you could start to lead your life with more confidence in other areas once you start to build that confidence through exercising and stuff. So it all rolls over and starts to radiate outwards. But transform people's lives from the inside out while educating them.
I think that technique is so big, man, because a lot of people don't know like how to lift weights, or they've had people teach them the wrong way. And with me being a basketball player, man, I've pulled muscles and, ultimately had injuries because I was doing an exercise the wrong way, or not doing something that was conducive to my body.
Right,
Just
right.
putting too much weight on.
Right.
You know, just all kind of stuff like that, man. So it actually took me a while to realize, okay, this is what I'm good at. You know, this is what I need to do as far as fitness. And even certain stretches, they weren't working for me, you know. So just had to figure out what works for me, man. But yeah, that technique is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's not about the weight that you're lifting, it's just how you're doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And it's not about how fast you lift or anything either. Yeah.
And if I could say,
Wait, who are you? I'm just kidding.
From the fifth row, we have a question.
So we have a live studio audience in here today in the studio. So you know, back to one of our audience members.
no, I love how you say training is key, which it is, or education, is key. Because I've been to the gym several times and I see people go in there, think they have to be there for 4 hours.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
And then just the equipment can be intimidating.
Yeah.
However, I was told that, like you said, if you know what areas you want to target and you're told what to do, how long to do it, then you can be in and out of there and continue on with your life.
No need to spend 4 hours in the gym. Like people,
That's absurd.
So that's awesome.
Let's
to
be effective,
educated.
right?
Yeah.
Educated and effective. Yeah, that's really big, and that's part of my training.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I guess it's my turn, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think with my brand, I've been kind of piggybacking off Shantel. She's been helping me, inspiring me to help get my website and all my stuff going. So I've created By All Means.
Okay.
So BAM for short. So just really entails everything that we want to learn about the body. Like I said, educating you.
Yeah.
Getting that mobility up, because a lot of us are so sedentary and we don't, like you said,
Especially
don't,
now.
right, exactly, especially with COVID times. So we don't necessarily know exactly what to do to keep our body, the joints healthy.
Yeah.
But also want to build my brand kind of like on the level of Nike or Under Armour in the future, because I want to be able to just make it global, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I want everyone to reap the benefits of what I know and how I've been doing things in life. So, that's pretty much it. I'm just kind of cookie cutting what she said. So, you know, there's not much you can do in the training field. So.
And that's big, man. That's so big. So, and this is just a personal question for me, but like with the whole CBD infusion, man, how do y'all really see that impacting the fitness industry? Because I know a lot of people, you know, like a lot of ball players have talked about getting off of, you know, opioids and you know, all these other, you know, methods and just going more of a natural way of healing and things like that. So what do y'all think?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Because I personally use CBD, and it's definitely helped with the inflammation of my muscles, because I'm not as sore or tired when I'm done with my workouts, or you know, the delayed onset soreness. But it gives me a better frame of mind. I'm not as stressed out with my anxiety or anything of that sort, so it helps me sleep a lot better.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm here for it. And like I said earlier, I think they go hand in hand so nicely. The benefits of CBD are perfect for exercise as far as like if you want to use it pre or post.
Right.
Yeah.
Even they've got like topicals and all kinds of stuff now, but as far as reducing inflammation, reducing anxiety, helping out with recovery, and then for people like you said who are trying to get off of opioids, who have had injuries and then prescribed these harsh like medicines and stuff. I'm a naturalista. If there's a way that I can get like the nutrients or the benefits or whatever naturally, where my body can process it and recognize it a lot better than like the manufactured drugs, I would much rather go the natural way. And I think a lot of people are starting to pick up on that. I feel like CBD has like exploded.
Exploded.
But so with that comes like making sure that you get quality CBD.
Don't just get any CBD that you get at a gas station or something.
At a gas station.
You'd be surprised when they sell a gas
Someone
station.
selling it out of the back of their truck. CBD, man.
Stay
Well,
away
it's
from.
funny because I didn't know what CBD was, I saw a sign. I was at a 4-way stop sign going home, and I was like, "What is CBD? Somebody please tell me."
It's everywhere.
At the gas station was like up the street. And I was like, "What is CBD?"
Cannabinoid.
So you have to be careful of where you
Right.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm here for it though. I'm here for the natural remedies.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I think it's big, man. I think it'll be something that just continues to grow and expand in the future. So I'm interested to see how it impacts not just the fitness industry, but pro sports, and then people's everyday lives too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a big boost.
Yeah, man. So, coming to my favorite part of the section, my favorite segment of the show, what are like some verses that y'all cling to, that just kind of keep y'all locked in when y'all are, dealing with, discrimination or just other struggles that you come into daily? Like, what are some of the verses that keep
You
y'all
want me to go
focused?
first?
You can go first, yeah.
It's actually funny because I have a daily inspiration, and it came to me today. And it's a verse from Matthew
Look
5.
at God.
5. Right, oh, you talking mess, guy? You talking mess? I get my notifications every morning. Every morning at 9 a.m. I get my verses.
He's better than me.
Yeah, you're better than me.
You
No
did, guy.
shade. It was just a question.
We've had some
You
turmoil break out in the studio.
Well,
Not
thank
true.
you. Okay.
Just cut all that out.
So, but the verse says, Matthew 5, verse 5, blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. And that's pretty much how I take day to day, because you want to be nice to people, you want to reciprocate that. And gentle and just being kind is literally the biggest thing you can do for one person to another.
Yeah.
It brings out the positivity in ourselves and just is a better outlook on life.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
And it's crazy, especially the times that we are dealing with now. So all we need is love. We just need to love each other.
Yeah, that perfect segue into mine. Thank you
Oh,
for
let's
that.
hear it.
Mine is 1 Corinthians 13:13, and at last these three remain: faith, love, and hope. But the greatest of these is love. I've always loved that quote, and I like to take that and like lead with love with everything I do. Like you said, approaching everyone with kindness and just the people who usually are like racist against you or just people who are ill-willed or are in a bad mood or whatever that day, like those are the people who need more love. And I just try to approach everything through love first, through that lens first.
And I think that's so big, man, because the people that are out here performing these racist acts against, black people or just anybody, I mean, they're lacking somewhere.
Right.
It's usually in the area of love. They're missing that from some part in their life, so they're trying to take that from somebody.
Exactly
Yeah,
that. That's exactly that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So big.
You gotta pray on them.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you for having us.
That wraps up everything.
Thank
Just let the people know where they can find y'all.
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm Jamaal. You can find me on Instagram at shields_ATL. Once again, at shields_ATL.
Okay. And then I'm Shantel. So my Instagram handle is at Shantel West Coast. And then you can find my website at formoverfunctionfitness.com.
Under construction, mine too. Under construction.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate y'all listening, and once again, appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Thank you for
Appreciate
having us.
it.